Well, welcome everyone to day 3 of the Learn Photoshop for Free course. I am Honesty Jansen with Homeketeers. Okay, today we're going to cover some basic photo editing inside of Photoshop. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. This is my youngest son, Carson. And as you can see, he has very red eyes in this photo. I'm going to keep enlarging it. So to make it enlarge like I'm doing, I'm using my control button and the plus key on my keypad, and that allows me to zoom in on my image, and the control key and the minus button actually zooms out. So, alright, so as you can see in this particular photo, Carson has got some pretty bright red eyes. Over on our tools palette, the very first one in the second section of tools, if you right click on it, it's going to have probably a band-aid, but when you right click on it, on the very bottom it says red eye tool. You're going to select that. Now here we can adjust the pupil size and how much we want to darken it. I have mine set at 50% and 77%. And we'll just test it first and see if we like the results. So now I've got this lovely little cross. I'm going to go over and I am just going to drag a square over the eye and let go. And look, no more red eye. I'm going to do the same for the other eye. Again, making a square, and there we go. So now let's zoom back out and see how that looks. And it's perfect. So let's show you the before and the afters. And as you can see, we've got red eye and no red eyes. So that's as easy as I can put it for you to make your red eyes go away. You're going to go over here to the tools palette and you're going to select the red eye tool. Okay, let's move on. Next, what do we have here? All right, so I've got 3 photos open that I want to edit. 2 are of my army son, and 1 is of my middle daughter. Okay, we are going to enlarge the one of my middle daughter, who, if she sees me doing this, is going to get very mad that I'm doing this publicly. But she's got a couple of blemishes on her forehead that we don't want to have showing in this particular image. So I'm going to go same place where I just did with my red eye removal, and I am going to see that spot healing brush tool and I'm going to click it. Now this is a little small for what I want to fix, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to enlarge the size. Let's see, let's go with let's go up to 40. Perfect. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe over that, and that's gone. Same thing here, and that's gone. Do it here, that's gone, and we've got a little red right there I want to remove. And all I'm doing is really just kind of just clearing her up. And this is perfect when you have the ability for it to copy from right next to it. It does not work for all fixes because it has to have something to copy from beside it for it to work. So I'm going to go down here, I'm going to look at her chin. We got a little one right there I know she'd want me to remove. So as you can see, I don't want to do too much around her nose because I really like her freckles and I want to make sure that they shine through really well. This is also really great for little things like, oh, she's got a hair right there. So I just want to kind of clean up her eyebrows a bit, and I've done that. We've got some freckles there, and for the most part I am pretty happy with how I think that looks. So it's a very simple way to make you have perfect skin on any of the photos you take. And if you're a photographer and you're just learning, this is a tool that will really allow for you to give your clients that wow factor. Okay, so I'm going to minimize that and see how we look. Now I'm going to do one more and I'll show you the before and after. So let's go with this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this background image. I'm just going to drag it down on top of my create a new layer. So just click it and drag it and it'll duplicate that layer for you. Another way is to right click and just tell it to duplicate the layer. All right, so now let's go ahead and work on this top one, top layer. All right, so this is my son, and the weather in Georgia, the humidity has not been agreeing with his skin. For the most part, he's just got, it's like a lot of scars at this point, but I know that the Army has had him on lots of different medications, and with what he's going through, his face is just not taking it real well. Okay, so I'll go on his neck. I just want to show you, trying to make sure I leave freckles, but I don't want to leave anything that he really may not like too much. Kind of clear up his nose a bit. There we go. All right, I know I'm being quiet while I work. I like to pay attention when I'm kind of spot healing here. Okay, so I'm going to minus this back out. So this is what I have for the most part fixed. I want to show you the difference. Before, after. Before, after. It makes a huge difference. And this is, again, using that spot healing tool brush. Okay? So now I'm going to go over to this photo. I'm going to duplicate it. Let's go ahead and run our spot healing tool on it real quickly. And again, you know, this is something to where when you can do it in lines like I'm doing right here, or you can do it just by clicking. But for the most part, okay. We're going to focus on eyes, and then I'm going to go back to Becca's photo and do teeth here in just a second. But I just really want everyone to see this tool right here is an amazing tool in the fact that it will really help you to stand above your competitors when you can edit a photo to give your client exactly what they're looking for that perfect shot. Even go up here to the hair. Got to be very careful here because it will start to bring that hair down lower. Okay. All right. Again, I'm going to show you the difference that this has made. I kind of, there we go. Okay. All right, so again, I'm going to show you the difference before I go over to his eyes and show you how to brighten someone's eyes. So before, after, before, after. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this one, turn this off. All right, now I'm going to head over to my smudge tool, dodge tool, over in the same palette. It's the very last one before we hit our pen tool. And you've got a dodge, a burn, and a sponge. I'm going to use the dodge tool. Excuse my phone beeping at you. I'm going to check the eye here and go, okay, we are at the right size. I've got exposure set to 16%. I'm going to actually increase that up to 20. And we're going to go with mid-tones. So I'm going to increase this. And just right here, I'm just going to do one swipe holding my mouse down and another swipe. I'm just doing the whites of the eyes. I'm going to do one there and I'm going to do one there. Now you probably are going, I didn't see a change. I didn't see anything happen. So I want to show you what just occurred. There we go. So those are the close-up of his eyes. If you notice, just that one swipe, before, after, before, after. So I'm going to do a second swipe through. 1, 2, 1, 2. And now I am going to go ahead and show you the before and after. Before, after. And all it did was really brighten up his eyes. Because I am noticing how bright it got, I do want to go ahead and add just a one quick. I'm going to lower this down to a 15. And I'm just going to do a circle and another circle. All right. Before, after, and all I did was just brighten up his eyes. So we went from that to that, where his eyes are just kind of popping. So now we're going to look at the original to the now enhanced. Okay, so let's pop on over to Becca's. Oh, that's Carson. Let's go over here to Becca's. All right, so that same technique. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I'll leave this at 15%. So I've got us on our dodge tool, and I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to brighten up her eyes just a little. And then in my second sweep, I'm going to add a little bit of her eye. Again, a little bit of her eye. And then this is where I'm going to really focus on her teeth. One, two, and again, I'm just focusing on her teeth. I don't want to get the gum area because then that just looks weird. That's the easiest way to put it, people. All right, I'm going to lower this down just a little for these side teeth because I don't need quite as big of a brush. I do need larger than that, so let's go over to a 15 or 11. There we go, 11 will work. And we're just going to do these teeth that we just kind of see on the edge. Same with this one. Okay. Now I'm going to minus out of that real quickly just so you guys can see the difference here. Oops. All right, so there we have brightened her eyes and her teeth, and I would like to show you the before and after. Before, after. So if you're noticing her eyes, let's go ahead and just focus on her eyes for just a minute so you can really see what we've done. So there's the before and the after, and it just brings just a little bit more of that brightness to them. All right, and there's our teeth. I'm going to prop this up just a little bit more so you guys can see better. All right, so this is after, before, after, before. If you see, it's not too much of a difference, but it's enough to really just kind of make them have that extra white. I can keep going on it and make it a lot brighter, but then it just looks unnatural. All I'm looking for is just that extra little oomph, if you will. So we have covered red eye removal. We have covered removing blemishes. We have covered making the eyes pop. And also how to make our eyes and teeth. pop. Now I'm going to do a part 2 video to show you some alternate methods to using more tools to accomplish these same things. But for now, I think you've probably got the idea of how this works.